Hey, it's Clay at claycharter.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, September 17th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we are looking at TURB. Very big mover today. A lot of people talking about it. And now we have a good quality pattern here headed into Wednesday. So let's get this all mapped out here. And first, let's focus on the resistance part of this pattern. And that would be this area right here that you got to think a lot of people have drawn that trend line or something very, very similar. And when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there are no guarantees, is it valid? Is it plausible that if the price comes up here and breaks through there, that break right there could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a valid scenario. Again, is it guaranteed? No, but more than possible as a legitimate question to throw out there. So if you like to play breakouts, keep an eye on that trend line right there. If this does continue to pull back, I'm not going to call it a do or die level, but I would certainly call it a pretty important area of support. Would be down here right around the $9.70 mark. So keep an eye on that moving into the next couple of days. And then just for those of you that like to play overall patterns or like to visualize things as patterns, we have our resistance, we have a support, we have a big move up right there. For you golfers, put the golf hole down here. You could call this a bull pennant pattern. Next one here, OPEN, and really not a whole lot to update, assuming you watched the video from yesterday. But if you did, talk about this area of resistance, and you can see today that level certainly played a role. This morning, the price got slightly above it, but like it did right here, it could not maintain above it. Price fell back below it. And then right here, it tried again and just flat out got rejected right there. So more of the story, that key resistance trend line that I talked about in Monday's video still pertains and is still going to be that initial battleground that you're going to want to watch moving forward if there is going to be any sort of attempted return back up, into the $10 range. And then on the flip side of things, nothing really new here to report. The price is still doing a good job staying above this green line. Currently valid at, we'll call it, but right around $8.60, give or take. Yeah, the price is a little bit closer to it. But not only has the price stayed above it, it technically hasn't even tested it. So from that angle, things are holding up fine from the bullish standpoint. So sure, this line right here, I'm sure is starting to get pretty annoying to bulls and stuff like that. But the good news is that there's still plenty of opportunity. The price still plenty of higher than where it was. So the overall uptrend is still in the bulls' favor. Next one here, ticker symbol BBAI. Talked about this one in yesterday's video, but today the movement has just continued. Very, very nice breakout. So we'll get some new levels here mapped out. And the first key level is what I would call the ideal level of support. When you say, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? And that would be if the price can stay up here above $5.65. Now, don't get me wrong. If the price falls below that area, that does not mean the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But if the price can stay above there, that would definitely be a great sign of power moving forward. Taking a step back and looking at things from the bigger picture standpoint, that is where the purple line there comes into play. The 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher, which essentially is a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. In fact, I like to call moving averages trend lines for lazy people. Because if you don't feel like drawing a trend line, just let this quote-unquote trend line draw itself for you. So from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price does stay above that purple line, the bulls 100% own the chart. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to get overcomplicated. Just use some basic logic and just ask, where did the party finally stop today? And the party stopped right there at the $6 mark. So again, no fancy logic, but that is where the price eventually ran out of steam and is now kind of going sideways here a little bit. So from a resistance standpoint, definitely keep a close eye on $6. Next one here is CODX, and I talked about this pattern on a previous one, the bull pennant, so I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker as I want to respect your time as much as possible. But yeah, I would definitely consider this a bull pennant pattern. So there is our area of resistance for the pattern. There's our area of support. Change that to green for support, and then just make sure everybody can see it. Let's keep it the same color. So again, we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the nice upwards move right there. Again, for you golfers, put the golf hole down here, and here we have the bull pennant. Now, just because it's bullish does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to break to the upside. But would it be shocking to see this come around here and then break and get some sort of movement up through there? That would not be shocking at all. Again, but it's not guaranteed, so it's just a question that you can throw out there. But if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one here, NIO, and just a pretty crazy mover when you consider that all day long there is exactly one red candle. Everything other than that were just green candles. Not so sure some of them, such as that, wasn't a huge green candle, but still green candle. So a pretty crazy chart, all things considered. So let's map out a couple of the key levels moving forward. So that first area is that ideal of support, which I talked about on the previous chart. This would be the level where for Clay, say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest? Definitely if the price can stay up right up there around above the 683 mark. But again, from the overarching standpoint, it goes back to that purple line right there, 50 period simple moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price is above that purple line, then that by far is the most important area from a resistance standpoint. In terms of areas of resistance, as you're seeing here, where I'm having, okay, let's go to the daily time. Okay, so now each one of these represents the day. So, I mean, we are going back literally, we're having to go back into 2024 to figure out where this next potential resistance is because it's been so long since the price has been up around this area. But next key battleground to watch moving forward right up there around $7.40, which I guess comes from back there in October of 2024. So we are talking about highs that have not been seen for months upon months. But anyway, look at it. Great movement today. So we'll see if the momentum continues. Real quick, want to take a break and help you solve a very common problem, and that is due to the pattern day trading rule, where maybe you would like to be a day trader being defined as having unlimited day trades every day, but you can't because of that pattern day trading rule. Well, there is a market and a way you can go about having unlimited day trades every day and not needing a lot of money at all. And then you also get yourself a market that moves very, very nicely, even better than penny stocks and small cap stocks, as hard as that is to believe. But I can also understand if you're saying, Clay, what's the catch? This seems suited to be true. Totally get it. That is why I invite you. Come swing by my live stream. I start every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, and I go for a few hours. And come watch all this with your very own eyes. It's what I've been doing, so I've put my money where my mouth is. But I want you to see it, and if you have any questions, then by all means, ask any questions that you may have. But yes, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trading rule, and you want to be a day trader, then this is the way that you can go about it. Next one, we are looking at BITF, and overall, the uptrend continues, higher highs and higher lows. Once again today, broke that key area of resistance right there that I talked about previously, made the high up there. It's still doing a great job of staying above this trend line here, so I'm just going to extend this out, and we'll continue to follow that as time goes by. I'll go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now, but from an overarching standpoint, preferably, yes, continuing to stay above that green line, which has been super impressive that's been able to do that. That would be the best case scenario. And then like a couple of other charts we talked about, just also keep an eye on that purple line there in case the price doesn't quite hold above the trend line right there. In regards to areas of resistance, what I'm very curious about now moving forward is there is this upward trend line right there. So I'm curious if this is going to be some sort of upwards channel or what, but if there is any sort of move, I would not, again, no guarantees, but I would not be shocked if the price were to potentially get rejected off of that area. But the nice thing about these sorts of resistance levels is, in theory, the price may never break above that level, but the price could still continue to go higher and higher because this line does have an upward slope to it. So keep that in mind moving forward. But at the end of the day, the most important thing continues to happen, and that is putting in those higher highs and higher lows. Next one, NVDA, and things are starting to look shaky. Now, I'm not going to, I don't want to create panic and say that NVIDIA is dead, but just from a technical standpoint, if you've been watching past videos, you know that we've been tracking this sideways channel. Yesterday, price broke through it, but then did recover nicely. However, today, the price is broken down through it and then just continued to drop and stay below it. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level and then just make the first key update, and that update is based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if there is any sort of attempted bounce back up, right around that 175.90 will be the first key level that you're going to want to see the price have to battle back up through. If it can get through there, the next key level you'll want to watch is that purple line there, 50 period moving average, valued at 176.90. As far as areas of support are concerned, so far so good. You have this pink line down here, that 200 period moving average, right now valued at 174.65. You can see it did a great job holding there on Monday. And as of right now, the price is still holding right above that area. In the event, though, the price does finally let loose and falls down below there, the chart does open up quite a bit, where you don't have really the next level of support until down around here at approximately the 171.80 mark. Now, I'm not saying if that pink line fails, it's dropping straight down to there. I'm just saying that technically speaking, there's quite a bit of open space down the chart here. So yeah, the bears do seem to be trying to get a little bit more momentum here. Next one here, MARA, and a little disappointment in the sense of if you like to play bull pennant breakout. So I've talked about bull pennants on a couple of these other ones. I'll just draw it very quickly. So there's our resistance, and then we have, that area right there and the movement right there. So you can see though that at this point though, the breakout has already occurred, but this does lead to now a very exciting question, and that is this. Is this the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. It makes zero sense to ask that question if nothing worthwhile is even happening. Because you'd say, well, is what the start of something bigger? But in this situation, something already has happened. The nice solid breakout. So sure, you missed the breakout, but we now at least get to ask the question, okay, is this breakout the start of something even bigger? And we'll have to see what happens. To be fair, maybe the price rolls back over. But again, to be fair, that's a two-sided coin. Maybe this thing is about to start to rock and roll again over the next few days. But all in all, the breakout's occurred. So yeah, let's see if this is indeed the start of something even bigger to the upside. Next one here, WOLF. And this is a tricky chart to talk about because there's a lot of perspective that goes into it. Meaning if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you call yourself, and you bought right there or right there on the dip, and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then from that standpoint, yes, the chart looks really, really bad. As I state the obvious, there was a very big pullback here. Now, if you care about the bigger picture point of view, even with the big pullback here, the price still has plenty of opportunity to build some higher bases. So to illustrate this, let's say the price actually comes down even further than what it already has. Let's say it comes down to right there at right around $2.20. Again, I'm not saying this will occur, but just for example's sake, let's say it does this and then starts to try to curl back up. What do you have now? Emphasis on big picture. Well, from the big picture, you'd have a set of lows there, you'd have lows there, you'd have lows there, you'd have lows there, and then you have lows even all the way down here. And if you envision each one of these as stair steps, again, emphasis on big picture. From the big picture, what do you have with stair steps? Well, you still have stair steps making progress in the upward direction. And that's the name of the game. That's what an overall person is going to care about. Is the price at least still making progress? Again, I'm well aware. If you're a day trader and you bought right there, you do not care about these stair steps. That's why I'm trying to make the distinction between somebody that cares about the broad scope of things versus maybe somebody that's a day trader. So yes, today, rough day. But think about that word, today, as in one day. Looking at multiple days here, you can see the price does still have the chance to build a higher base. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and all in all, good solid day. Now, it has not broken to the new highs or anything like that, but the price did finally get up through this resistance area right here. And again, nothing explosive, but given how strong the move has been, it's actually quite impressive that the price is able to, make these sorts of moves and at least just maintain the gains. Again, it's not like it broke there and then just started rocking and rolling, but it also didn't break and then just roll right back over. And if you've traded long enough, I'm sure you've seen some of those situations where something breaks and then the exact opposite happens. So nothing too exciting or explosive on the break, but again, the mere fact that it was able to stay above there is a good sign. So I'll get rid of that. Let's just get rid of that line too, because from the overarching standpoint, just focus on that purple line, which I've done on other ones, which you now know, that 50-period moving average. So from the overarching standpoint, as long as price is above that purple line, the bulls are in full control. And then in terms of areas of resistance, keep an eye on that level right there at 426. Nothing fancy there, logic-wise, other than, as I did in a previous chart, just ask the question, where did the party stop? And the party stopped right there on Monday. So that'll definitely be the key level to watch moving forward. But like I said, all in all, nice breakout today. Not an explosive breakout, but a breakout that was able to maintain itself. So we'll see if this momentum continues into Wednesday. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trend rule, if you want a market that trades even better than penny stocks and small caps and options and all that sort of stuff, then definitely check out the link here that's on the screen, or just swing by the live stream and see what I have been doing, because I want you to see it with your very own eyes and ask any questions. But if you're sick and tired of the pattern day trend rule, if you want markets with even bigger movement, and maybe you just don't have a whole lot of capital anyways, well then you don't need a whole lot of capital to get good buying power and then give yourself the opportunity at some good quality gains. So like I said, swing by the live stream if you have any more questions or if you just want to see it live. So thanks for watching. As always, hit that like button and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.